Hey guys, I'm Shoshanna and I'm gonna tell you my story. Some of you guys might know me as the bulk herb store girl or the Lyme girl, but I can tell you that I am a Lyme thriver. I am thriving, not surviving. I am living life to the fullest, and that's very unusual with someone who's had Lyme disease. I know the difference because most of my life I lived surviving. I didn't even realize that I was living surviving. It's just I was at a place where I was always working so hard to make sure that I was my healthiest. Eating healthy, exercising, getting my sleep, making sure I went to sleep on time, regularly doing detoxes. And then I still really struggled with autoimmune issues, with foggy brain, having really bad 4-second memory where I would be like, what were we talking about? It was a constant struggle trying to actually thrive and in life. So when you're trying to thrive all the time, you kind of realize that you're really not. Thriving is so different. Thriving is when you are living life and you actually don't have to worry about every single thing that you eat. You actually don't have to worry about making sure that you get sleep because you'll have the flu for the next 2 weeks if you don't. For the first time in my life, I can actually live my life and not worry about being sick just because I didn't go to sleep at 8:30 at night, or just because I ate a piece of chocolate cake. I would normally have gotten sick and I would have gotten blisters on my lip from just a piece of chocolate cake. So for the first time in my life, I don't have those issues. In fact, I can eat chocolate walnuts and oatmeal, which I used to not be able to eat. So I want to tell you why things have changed for me and how they've changed for me. So about 13 years ago, James and I accidentally moved into a moldy house. We didn't know that it was moldy, but my hair started turning gray and a lot of it started falling out. My son, Jeremiah, who was a newborn at the time, started having bloody poop and pussy poop. James was having a lot of high fevers. I developed a lot of heart problems, which I had heart issues since I was about 13, but my heart issues increased. I had a mitral valve prolapse and a heart arrhythmia. Ended up in the doctor at the emergency room. Of course, they looked at me and they said, "You're 22 years old." They didn't know what was wrong with me and they sent me home. So for the next 5 years, every day was a struggle. Everything that I ate, everything that I did, I had to eat perfect. I had to do perfect to survive. Not thrive, to survive. And like I said, my hair was turning gray. And look at me now, this is totally, completely natural. So this was 13 years ago is when this was going on. So really worked hard for 5 years, eating gluten-free, casein-free, sugar-free, raw, organic, non-GMO, wild meats, no grains, really feeding my body enzymes, probiotics, prebiotics, dirt, that's got some good enzymes in it, trying to help fix my bacteria, trying to detox my liver, help to rebuild my liver, my gut. It was so complicated and so difficult, and it was hard. And yes, after 5 years, I got healthy. After 5 years, I was able to get pregnant and have a beautiful baby girl. And I was so excited because I was healthy. My tonsils weren't hurting me because they had been hurting me my whole life. And it was a new chapter and a new beginning for me. So I started working really hard, and through my pregnancy, it was really wonderful. And then I found out that we had mold in our new house after Penelope was born. So after Penelope was born, a short period of time, we ended up getting mold again. And again, I was wiped out. Jeremiah was wiped out. And I was beginning to put the pieces together that it wasn't just mold, it was a tick-borne disease. And that is when we went to a doctor and found out we had Lyme, Babesia, Bartonella, and a whole lot of co-infections with Lyme disease. And with all of that, they did $5,000 worth of testing for me to walk in, $3,000 for Jeremiah because they couldn't take that much out of his body. And then we had genetic testing and testing every single week, watching our body go. Well, one thing that we learned was, one, genetics change from week to week depending on what you take and what you do. That was very fascinating, very interesting to me, because what you do really matters. The exercise, the vitamins, all of that. And not only does it matter for me, but I feel like it matters for my children, because think about, heart disease runs in a family, heart disease doesn't run in a family, right? And I saw those genetics turning on and off. So, and I have so many ridiculous genetics. I'm MTHFR, I don't produce glutathione, which is the #1 detoxifier in the human body. I'm ADHD, I'm dyslexic, and so, and lots of other genetics that don't allow me to naturally detox. By not allowing me to naturally detox, that means that I was having to work so hard to detox. The other thing I found out, it was I had an epigenetic that didn't allow me to detox Lyme disease. That means my body just accepted it because I had had Lyme for such a long period of time that I was no longer fighting it anymore. So after being at the doctor and racking up $90,000 worth of medical debt, we had to make a decision because I was getting sicker. I was passing out. I couldn't take baths by myself. I was scared, or some days I could, but a lot of days I was afraid that I would pass out in the bathtub and drown. Jeremiah was having seizures often throughout the night. He had his norepinephrine, his epinephrine, his glutamate, they were off the charts. Like, he was so over electrified, clothes bothered him. I couldn't rub his back. I couldn't hug him and snuggle him. And this is, at this point now he's 8 years old and we're having these symptoms, right? So, and according to our blood tests and our blood smears is where they can see the Lyme a little bit better, that he did have an active case of Rocky Mountain at this time, along with Lyme in his biofilm and other co-infections. So both of us were under so much treatment. We're trying to figure out what to do because we were getting worse and not better. My heart issues were increasing. I was passing out. I remember one day I went to get my blood done, but I couldn't even, I got out of the car and I just passed out in the parking lot. And that's a horrible, horrible place to be. We had in-care home taking care of me all the time and my son. But I felt like I was just a dead person living in bed. It's not a life. It doesn't even feel like surviving at that point. You just kind of feel like a vegetable that doesn't have a brain or to have a function. It was a horrible place to be. My joints were floppy, so I had a hard time moving or going anywhere. A lot of times I'd have to have help to even get from the bed to the bathroom. And my brain, because my 4-second memory is so foggy, so with ADHD, your frontal lobe is underactive. That's your 4-second memory, right? And that 4-second memory is what turns the rest of your brain on and off. So it's always talking to the rest of your brain. So that 4-second memory is also where your frontal lobe is, where Lyme spirochetes love to live. So the Lyme spirochetes living in my frontal lobe means that my frontal lobe is extra underactive. Also, toxins love to live in your fatty tissues. Your brain is the fattiest part of the human body. And so that's another place that was extremely overloaded with toxins. So my frontal lobe was like non-existent. If I was carrying on a conversation, I couldn't remember what I said from when I started to when I finished the sentence, which means that I wowould stop like halfway through the sentence trying to remember what I said or what I was talking about because I wouldn't remember. Or if my husband was talking to me, the same thing. I'd have a hard time remembering what he said to when he finished, that we couldn't carry on conversations. It was a really rough time. So at this point, I had to make some really big decisions because I felt like we were drowning in debt. I was looking for my husband another wife because I knew that I wouldn't be around with the way we were going. And it's a horrible place to be when you feel like you've spent all your money, you've given it everything you have, you've said, hey, take care of me, I will do whatever you tell me, just take care of me. They're giving you hands full of vitamins. This guy was supposed to be 90% natural, supposed to be a healthy person. They're supposed to have your life in your hands, but it feels like that he was so arrogant that he wouldn't listen when I said I'm getting worse, not better. Long story short, I found out that I was sensitive to what he was giving me on a daily basis, glutathione. So glutathione being the #1 detoxifier, I also wasn't allowed to have it from a synthetic form, which is what he was giving me constantly, which that's if you're taking it orally, if you're taking it intravenously, that's what they're giving you. It means that your body is not naturally producing it. You're taking a supplement which is trying to give you glutathione, and I can't do that. It was creating a lot of heart issues in my case. So Jeremiah and I decided I was going to treat us both. And after Jeremiah being on a month with just vitamin C intravenously, then we left the clinic and I went to another doctor and I said, I'm gonna take these products, I'm gonna take my herbs and these incredible plexus products. Can you watch my blood tests, see how I'm doing, and let me know what I should be doing differently, you know? So he looked at the plexus products, he looked at the ingredients, he looked at my herbs, and he said, you know, and he starts explaining why they would actually be good for us. And he didn't approve all of them, but I made the personal choice to go ahead and take all of them anyway. It was, you know, it was my personal choice, because I knew that if I kept going in the direction that I was going, it wasn't going to go anywhere. So I went ahead and I took the Triplex Nerve and Ease and X Factor Plus, and we continued to take those products for the next 4 years. So it took me about 3 months before I was getting out of bed and doing things on a daily basis for, you know, a couple of hours a day. And then it took me about 6 months, and I was swimming, I was doing a little bit more, but I was still spending most of my time in bed or crashing often. If I exerted myself a couple of days, and I'd crash for 2 weeks, a year, and I was traveling around speaking, but I was still crashing for 2 weeks at a time. But I was like, wow, my life is changing radically. 2 years, and I was like, I'm the healthiest. I cannot believe how healthy I am. This is incredible. This is amazing. But I still actually didn't have mobility of my right arm at this time. I didn't think that that would ever change, because I damaged my right arm with volleyball when I had Lyme, but I didn't know that I had Lyme. So I was playing volleyball and I damaged my arm. And then from that, the Lyme made it worse and worse, to where I had nerve damage all the way down the tip of my finger, all the way down my back to the right side of my butt cheek, and it was incredible, painful, awful all the time. I had to keep my arm up close to me, and it seemed like nothing seemed to work. It hurt me all night long. It was really hard to sleep, because it was just always hurting. So that was 2 years in. It had improved, but it hadn't gone away. I started taking more and more Ease and Nerve, and with higher doses of Ease and Nerve, I supported my liver and kidneys with a lemon ginger turmeric drink, just fresh grated ginger, fresh grated turmeric, lots of lemon juice, just supporting my liver and kidney, my detox system, making sure I'm exercising with my detox system. And after 3 months on that, I could use my arm. I could lift it. So before, I couldn't lift it. I couldn't dress by myself. My husband would have to help me. I could never do anything like this. What's up? So after 3 months, I was able to use my arm. After 6 months, I was able to do 50 push-ups. Oh yeah. And my friend called me up and said, tomorrow morning we are going to run 5 miles, do 25 obstacles. I hate running. I've never ran. In fact, 13 years earlier is when I had, when I was so sick, I was also diagnosed that I had multiple calcified lumps in my lungs, and they said, like, it's hurting my breathing, because my lungs couldn't expand like it should, because I had 3 calcified lumps in there. It was a lot going on. So my breathing was like for a little while. So I was just constantly getting better from in the past 2 years, but this was kind of the big thing. James came to pick me up off of the Spartan race field, but I can tell you that with that race, out of 900, mostly military, I got 43rd place. And I just remember driving home, and I look at James and I said, I got my life back. You've got your wife back. I'm healthy. I am not going anywhere. I'm not dying on you. I'm alive. And it was the beginning. It was the beginning for us. I knew that I wasn't just surviving anymore. I was thriving in every way. I was healthy, healthier than I ever had been. My glands weren't hurting. I wasn't having allergies. I was using my muscles without pain. I was waking up. I had my arm. I was doing push-ups and pull-ups with my arm like never before. So I knew that I had my life back. Now I want to tell you a little bit about what I was doing. I think there's a few things that are really important to focus on with getting healthy. For me, is what I did, and I focused on my liver, kidney, and my just keeping those glands moving with that exercise. That's like constantly moving. So a little bit like a little trampoline is going to help, your lymph node system and keep everything moving and flowing. Always dancing is one thing that I did a lot. I did a lot of dancing, which kind of kept those detox flowing. Along with lemon, ginger, turmeric, I did a liver cleanse, which is a tincture that I made to help support that as well. A healthy glucose metabolism is so incredibly important, because your glucose, being like your insulin going in, it is a master hormone that either controls or directly relates to all the other hormones inside of your body. So, and it really plays a part in inflammation. So for me, that was huge, is supporting my blood sugar levels. And then, of course, along with blood sugar went gut health, because gut is the core health. It is the center of the body. And focusing on gut health, you are helping the rest of your body. So I focused on my gut health, just like I had done before, with enzymes and probiotics and prebiotics, and supporting it with diet and just making sure that everything was healthy. And of course, the gut affects the blood sugar level as well, and they all talk to each other. Same with liver and kidneys, and also the brain. The brain being the command center that talks to the rest of the body. It's so important for your brain to be clean and functioning, because if it's not, and it's your command center, how is it going to talk to the rest of your body? So, and then overall, when you actually focus on those things, your cells start reading your cells better. They start talking and communicating, which is what they need to be doing. So autoimmune issues, right? It's when it's like there's so many languages going on in your body, nobody's communicating and talking. So they started communicating and talking. So those are the things that I focused on. Plexus was an incredible tool that I used on my journey to success. I just slowly started the Plexus products, the Triplex, Ease, Nerve, X Factor. I added an X Factor Plus. But I also made sure that I went really slow, because with what was going on with me, with my genetic issues, with how many things that I had going on, I wanted to go slow enough, because anything that's full of herbs, enzymes, and probiotics that are whole food things, that are healthy for you, I like to look at them like vegetables. One vegetable is just a vegetable. Like, let's say that you eat a beet and it's just a beet, it's a vegetable. But what if you get 5 beets and juice them? You're gonna have gas, bloating, probably a headache, and you're gonna have a major detox. So anytime that you are doing herbs, enzymes, and probiotics where it's feeding your body, it can also detox your body. So going slow and working your way up can really help your body have time to grab a hold of that bad stuff and pull it out of your system, while it's killing the bad stuff, feeding the good, and helping bring balance back to your body. Plexus didn't heal me, it didn't cure me, it's not a fix. What Plexus is a wonderful tool to help support your body so your body can do what it was designed to do. My body was created to work and function, and Plexus was that extra thing. It was the thing, it was the missing piece of the puzzle for me. It was the thing that helped my body get healthy by supporting my system. The amazing things that are inside of the Plexus products, like Slim has alpha-lipoic acid. Alpha-lipoic acid is used in Japan to actually treat Lyme disease by killing the Lyme spirochetes in the frontal lobe of the brain. I love that Slim has that in it. And I was so amazed to see how clear my brain was with taking these amazing products. Year after year, I just got better and better. I've been on the Plexus products for 4 years, and hopefully you can tell my brain is not what it used to be. I can remember what I've said, not all the time, but I can remember what I said. My learning ability is better than it ever has been in my entire life. I used to be the girl that said, I'm just not good at that. I need James to help me. James, can you teach me how to do this? James, don't even teach me. My brain is so foggy, you just do it. I was that girl, and now I'm going, hey James, let me teach you how to do this. It's really cool. I'm the one that gets to learn and to grow my brain and to learn things that I've never learned before, because I feel like that my retaining, I'm able to retain information and be able to learn so much more and so much faster. So anyway, guys, that is my story. I will not be able to answer lots of questions, so don't message me on Facebook. If you're already signed up in Plexus or you have a Lyme, somebody that has Lyme or anything, this video is only meant to encourage you. If you are on a journey to health and you are looking for answers, I just want to encourage you that you need to fight. You need to fight because you're worth it. Your family is worth it. You are worth the fight. But fighting isn't just an every once in a while battle. If you want to truly thrive, everything needs to be about you thriving. You don't have Saturday and Sunday off on thriving. You need to feed your body and do what's good for your body and slowly take small, consistent steps to health day after day. Because I can tell you, I am a Lyme thriver. I am a mama thriver. I'm a better me. I'm a happier, healthier mama, wife, daughter. I love living life to the fullest. And for the first time in my life, I'm living life to the fullest. And I am so excited to be able to tell you that you can fight and amazing things happen. So love you guys. I hope this helps. Cheerios. Bye.